Russ. Yeah, we're back out on the road again. It's a little chilly this morning. It was raining last night. That's why the roads look a little bit wet, and it is definitely overcast. Now, you might notice I'm not wearing my long sleeves. I'm starting to regret it. I think if I had the long sleeves, it would be a little bit warmer. But I didn't do it, so I'm sleeveless again. So I'm taking the Rad Rover 5 out because it has a larger battery. I'm not sure how long I'm going to be riding, and since I'm still again waiting for the Magicycle battery to show up, we can't take it. It's okay. I'm used to the Rad Rover 5, and yeah, let's go down our typical paths here. Let's see how it looks like. Let's see if there's any flooding or anything. I don't think so. I don't think it really rained that hard, but it was a consistent rain yesterday all day long. It doesn't show any rain today, but I don't want to go too far out again because, like I said, it's pretty much overcast. You never can tell if it's going to pick up and rain or not. I don't want to be too far away if it does. So it just tends to be easier. Thank you. Just tends to be a little bit easier just to hang around this general area. I will tell you that the opportunities to go to different places have really been held off based on weather this year. Yeah, so you notice he had his headlight on just like I have my lights on. It's always a good idea to keep it on. He had a solid light on. I usually have mine in the blinking mode, you see. So I have two different types of headlights. This one I bought online from a company. It's in the description of my videos. On the Magicycle, I have the headlight that's sewed from Magicycle. I have it on that one. I think that one's actually a little bit brighter than this one. Magicycle sells it directly on their site. You can buy that, you know, even if you're not a Magicycle owner. The headlight is not made by Magicycle. I think it's just some headlight that they sell. All right, we'll stop here. Okay, so the car is letting me go, so we will go. Yeah, I would have to say, riding the Rad Rover always feels a lot heavier. The battery I put on here is heavier. I carry a lot more stuff on here. You know, even my Ebikes bike lock is sitting in the front basket over there. And that weighs a certain amount as well. And so every little thing adds up, you know, in terms of weight. But, you know, I keep thinking, too, about the brakes on here. I do have the hydraulic brake calipers, but not a full hydraulic brake system. If I intend to keep this bike, I keep thinking, should I upgrade the brakes to full hydraulics? It's not like I can't brake with this, but you do have to pull a lot harder than you do on the full hydraulic system. Something to get used to. I mean, other bikes I've had were mechanical brakes as well, but now that I have the one with the hydraulic, it's kind of hard to let that go. That's on the Magicycle Cruiser. I'm essentially upgrading that Cruiser to a Cruiser Pro with all the upgrades I'm doing to it. In time, I believe Magicycle plans to send me a replacement fork. They don't plan to sell that, I think, normally. So, thank you. So they will send one to me just so that I can upgrade my bike myself. Thank you. So I think once that's upgraded, the only difference would be is that the motor would have a little bit more torque on the Pro version. So I don't know, mine would be kind of a semi-pro. It'll be essentially upgraded to everything except for the torque. But it's 86 Newton meters on the Cruiser. I think that's plenty for me in this area. It's a little bit more torque on the Pro version at 96. But I'm happy with the 86. I'm fine with that. Again, I mentioned before that it was confirmation that there is no cruise control. I think it was a rumor that was running around in one of the groups. And yeah, I'm a little disappointed. I thought that would be a great feature to have. So maybe one day Magicycle engineers could try to see if they can develop a cruise control for their bikes. That would be really nice. Other bikes do have them. Not many, but other bikes do have them. So I think that would be nice. I will say that holding the thumb throttle down for a long period of time, it tends to make you tire out a little bit. So sometimes my right hand actually goes numb from holding this thing down. And I mean, if you push it all the way down, that's one story. But you know, if you're not going as fast as the full throttle would give you, then just holding it in a shorter position here, it's kind of tiring after a while. Now, the half twist throttle, some people prefer to use the half twist throttle itself rather than using this attachment here. I just never got used to holding that either. I felt that just having some little attachment here and just kind of pushing down a little bit like this was actually easier for me. So every bike I have, I put a thumb throttle, and as you know, this one I actually bought from somebody on the Rad Power Bikes forums. I think it's called the Rad Power Bikes Owners Community or something. I'm not really sure. So, but the other ones I have 3D printed for me. This is 3D printed too. The guy just does it himself and sells it. I started using the free 3D printing file, and I just printed it up myself. I bring it to the local library. They have a service where they will do the printing at no cost. The only cost is materials used. So the plastic parts to make something similar to this, roughly about 50 cents. You know, it seems to vary. It depends on who's making it, I think. It seems to vary between 45 and 55 cents. And we'll just average it out and say it's about 50 cents. And then the screws cost me more money than the actual unit. I went to Menards, and you know, they sell 2 screws and in a bag and 2 little nuts in a bag, and they end up costing a lot. So what I did is I went to AliExpress, which is kind of like the Chinese Amazon, and I ordered up screws and nuts, 50 each. And together, the cost is a lot less on the long run because you're buying in bulk. Of course, it takes forever to get here, so I'm still waiting for them to come in, but I have no immediate need right now for it anyways. So, yeah, I'll have plenty of nuts and screws and stuff to use for these things. And my intention, of course, is eventually, as review bikes might be coming in, I'll be putting new throttles on them and then just leaving them on there. So where are we headed today? Well, this is essentially the same route we always take as we head towards Bussy Woods, but I'm avoiding Bussy Woods for a while. I think we've done it enough. And so I've been taken to the streets, but I think I want to kind of explore the general area to see if there's another thing that we can go to out in this general area. So I figured I'd take it into that route and see where it goes. Yeah, it is definitely a little bit cold today. I think it's about 65, 66 right now. My ideal temperature has always been around 70 degrees. I mean, eventually it'll hit that, but it's not going to hit that while I'm riding. So what time is it? It's 8:28 in the morning on a Saturday. Another reason why I want to avoid Bussy Woods. I don't do those things during weekends, as you know. I don't prefer to. Yeah, but now you guys are probably used to the paths that I take to get places. It's okay. Gotta ride something. Better to be out and riding than staying home and doing nothing. Okay, we've got to stop. We're not gonna make this one. Now I usually go past the line a little bit because I figure anyone who rides up against me or towards me should try to trigger the lights for me if we don't get it from the guys across the way. So let's see. This guy's turning right, so we're not going to get it. This guy's turning left, so we may not get it either. Sometimes these left turn signals, they don't trigger a forward thing. But I finally got a guy behind me who's pulled up. They're always shy of the forward line. I don't know why they do that. But he's not in the next lane. He's 2 lanes over behind me. So yeah, this road is always a fast one, Palatine Road. It's like 45 miles an hour. And so we avoid that like the plague. Crossing is one thing, but riding on a 45 mile an hour road, I do not like. They have side roads next to Palatine Road, which does 30 miles an hour. Those are the ones we will ride if we have to take Palatine Road for anything. But there's areas where they don't have that. So if you take the map programs, it'll take you around this area so that it doesn't take you down the area where you have to be on the 45 mile an hour road. Good map programs will tell you where to go, but like I've shown, sometimes the map programs don't show you everything you want to see, so brings you to places you don't want to go to. All right. All right, well, let's see if we do, let's do some memory here to see if I remember how to go to Prospect Heights Trail, maybe. Let's see how that is. Will I remember? I usually use my map. Will I remember how to get there? We'll see. Maybe, maybe not. Get some water here. I don't know. I think there's somewhere around here I was supposed to turn. I have no idea. I may have passed it. I think there's a certain amount of distance to go, then you have to go back to Palatine Road. It's the thing that gets you around it so you can get back to the 30 mile an hour part of Palatine Road. And so I don't recognize any of this, so I obviously have already passed it. Yeah, see, this is the problem when I don't have a map program. I have such a bad memory, I can't remember where I should or shouldn't go. I think we're heading the same direction, at least. And then eventually we got to take a left to go back towards Palatine Road. Let's see what it says. Okay, here's a sign. It says bike route. Let's go the opposite direction of it. Let's see where this takes us. Houses out here are really nice. Yeah, people have mentioned, they said, you know, your neighborhoods look really nice. Yeah, some of these neighborhoods are really nice. Some of the houses are really nice. Yeah, this is not the road to take. That's a nice house in front of us, though. I think some of these houses had to have been rebuilt. I think they may have torn down houses and rebuilt some. Alright, let's go forward. Let's see where this road is up ahead. I see stoplight up ahead. Yeah, we don't know where we're going. We're just going, right? It's okay. Alright, I see where we are. I think that might be Arlington Heights Road. So which way do we need to go? We actually need to go left, but I don't want to be on Arlington Heights Road to do that. I think what I'll do is I'm going to go through a little bit of the shopping center up ahead. We went through the shopping center once before. Let's do the shopping center. Let's see what's out here. So there's a Walgreens here. Yeah, we went through here once before. I don't know why. I was going somewhere. We got pushed off into this area as well. Walgreens to my right. There's an Amazon Fresh over here to the right. This is Amazon Fresh. I think they're brand new. They haven't opened up yet. Everything is kind of papered over on the windows. There's a LA Fitness. There's a Joann Fabrics, which is now called Joann. You guys have that in your area? I only know about this because my wife used to buy fabrics and stuff there. Otherwise, I wouldn't know what Joann is either. On my far left, there's a Verizon store. Great Clips, Sally Beauty Supply, Palm Beach Tan. This is a Dick's Sporting Goods we're coming up to here. I'm just grabbing the camera and just kind of angling so you guys can see. There's a Dick's. What else is down here? Rally House Chicago. It looks like sporting goods, clothing, sporting clothing. There's a Golden Corral. Golden Corral. This is a buffet. They're still running, I guess. Vision Works. There's a Best Buy up ahead here. Trying to grab the cameras and stuff. There's a For Lease section. Then there's Best Buy over here. On this side. Then straight ahead is a Whoppers. It says, so it's Burger King. Okay. I think that's it. Where shall we go? Oh, somebody asked me before whether you can go through the drive-through of places like Burger King. Again, I don't do U-turns, so I'm just going to hop off and turn bike. No, you cannot legally go through a drive-through with your bike, I found out. In some areas. I don't know if other areas you can. I did it once. I couldn't trigger the sensor for the people to know that I was standing there waiting to place an order in the drive-through thing. So I just rode up to it, and then the lady thought I was the order in the car that was behind me because they had placed their order after I rode up. And I says, no, I wasn't able to place an order. So she took my order and then eventually gave me my stuff anyways. But yeah, you can't trigger it. They don't know you're there. And like I said, some folks have told me that it's actually illegal. I don't know why it's illegal, but I don't know. Maybe they don't want to get sued in case something happens while you're outside. I don't get that. I mean, just like any place else, if you were to order something and then you had curbside pickup, isn't that the same thing almost, really? Makes no sense to me. Too many stop signs here. I mean, I guess it's important for cars to stop, but for the bikes to stop every few seconds, nah, I don't think so. By the way, they can't enforce it anyways. It's not on the open street. I learned that from one of my law enforcement instructors when I was going through school, learning to be an evidence technician. He would blow off all these stop signs because he says nobody can enforce it. Oh, they'll yell at you. They'll give you a lecture about it, but they can't really ticket you or anything like that. They can ticket you out on the street. They just can't ticket you on something private like this. All right, I'm going to head back. Head back out of here. There's not much to go see over there. I mean, if I would have taken Arlington Heights Road and swung thing around, I would have ended up at Prospect Heights Trail. That's okay, no big deal. We've done it before. Let's go see other places. Here's an interesting thing I'll tell you guys. Has not been finalized or anything like that, but an interesting thing nonetheless. I've been telling you guys that I've been contacted by various companies about doing reviews of certain products and the like. I've turned down a lot of them, to tell you the truth. I mean, some of the products really have nothing to do with our channel, quite frankly. And so one after the next, almost on a daily basis now, I get some type of inquiry about, would you consider doing a review of this product? I guess if I was a review site of just reviewing products in general, yeah, I'd take them all. Why not? But we're not. We're mostly an e-bike channel, but also a knee replacement channel, because we started out as a knee replacement channel, and I still feel many of the subscribers are actually knee replacement patients or have been, and they're still watching. Russ is right. If you're a knee replacement person and you're still watching me, put a quick comment. Let me know you're still out there. So, because I know I have not done a whole lot of videos concerning the knee, because my knee has gotten quite a bit better. It's a lot stronger now. It's not perfect. I cannot go up and down stairs quickly and things. I don't move very fast. So it's definitely not perfect. So I haven't talked too much about it, simply because there hasn't really been much to talk about. But I will tell you that recently I was contacted by a mobility scooter company. Now, that grabbed my attention real quickly because I do have a mobility scooter. It's not their brand, it's another brand, but I used one for quite a few years. Not just to get around. It's because when I was doing my field trips for my photography school, and I would take students out to field trips, I can't walk the amount of walking that they do on these field trips. So I would be on the mobility scooter scooting around while they're walking. And it really gave me the opportunity to get around. I think that was probably the thing that said to me, getting something like an e-bike just to get around town would be kind of nice. The mobility scooter is good if you go to certain, places like, the zoo or whatever, and you take the scooter and you scoot around. But just to get from place to place, having the bike is better. I mean, I can't ride a mobility scooter throughout the entire town. But if I'm somewhere with it, then of course, having the scooter is nice. So when they contacted me, I immediately thought, should I do a review of their scooters? Should I help represent them a little bit or not? Because most of my viewers are people who ride e-bikes. Do they really need the scooter? Then I thought more about it, and I said, well, many of my viewers are older people. They may not have a scooter now, but they may need one down the road, or maybe they have a spouse that may not be riding an e-bike, but they may be having a need for a scooter. So So I consulted one of you guys. I told you about John, who I talk to every now and then, privately, not on the general chats as we have on the videos. And I asked him about it, and he says, you should do it. You should do it, because there are people who's going to have a need for scooters. And like I said, I had a scooter too. I still have it, actually. It's in my basement right now. I'm just not using it because I'm not doing things like the field trips right now. But if I were to go to like Brookfield Zoo or something like that, I would take my scooter. I wouldn't walk it, because I cannot walk long distances. So anyways, I sent back an email from their inquiry. I explained my situation. I told them about the channel, and I think they actually found my channel specifically because their message to me was very specific. A lot of these other companies who contact me, you can tell that they're just sending it out to any YouTuber. I think they actually been watching some of my videos, and so I told them, I said, are we a good fit or are we not a good fit? I said, my knee is getting better, so I'm not like a person that would be using a scooter constantly, but it's not like I don't use one, because if I went someplace, I would use the scooter. Anyways, John told me, he says, well, you can take us to Brookfield Zoo. Put the scooter in your car, take us to the zoo, and then we'll look around the zoo. You can do a video on the zoo. Well, the thing is it's not an e-bike ride, then. It's just like scooting around on a scooter, a mobility scooter. I wouldn't mind doing that. I don't know how you guys feel about it. You get to see something different. I don't know. But I haven't heard back yet from them. They just sent it to me. I sent them back a response. We'll see. If they come back with a positive thing where they say, yeah, it's still good, we still want to get together and work with you, yeah, maybe I'll do a scooter review. I have some experience with scooters. Like I said, I still have one. It's not their brand, it's a different brand. But we'll know what the difference is between their brand and the other brand. Because they do make things like travel scooters, where they disassemble to a certain extent and you can put it in your car. And then there's full-size scooters too. I've never had a full-size scooter. Some of these things go pretty fast. I think their travel scooters, showed something like 4.9 miles per hour. Mine does 4.5. But the bigger ones did 9.5 miles an hour or something like that. So some of them go quite up there. Where are we at? Rand Road. You know what? We are heading back towards the Prospect Heights area. I think we are in Prospect Heights. Let's go down this road. We're on Thomas Street. I don't know if this crosses through to where we had gone in Prospect Heights, but let's just go into. We are in Prospect Heights, I believe, at this point, or we're on the edge of Arlington Heights and Prospect Heights, something like that. Yeah, we're just riding for riding. It doesn't matter. We're just talking. Let me know what you guys think about this whole thing with the scooter thing. We're talking mobility scooter now. We're not talking about kick scooters or anything like that. We're talking about a mobility scooter where people who have certain handicaps might need it. If you got a hip problem or you have a knee replacement problem where you can't walk a lot, yeah, you would use a mobility scooter. I'm personally okay with it. John says he's okay with it. Let me know what you guys think. Are you guys okay with it? Put a comment in the comment section. Let me know. If they do come back and they want to talk to me further about it, then I'll know which direction we should go. If you feel absolutely not, we should not do that, then I might still do it without you. I have a connection to this stuff because I use one. Like I said, I do use one. I still would use one if I go places. Like for instance, if we went on a cruise, I would take my scooter with me. I've done that before. I've done it on 2 cruises where I've flown with the scooter and taken the scooter out on trips like that. Yeah. Can't fly with every scooter, by the way. Some have lithium-ion batteries. You can't fly with those. Mine has a sealed lead acid type battery, and apparently you can fly with that. So every time I go on the airplane, I have to disclose to them that I'm bringing a scooter along, and then they always have someone who will contact you about the scooter because they want to make sure that you're not flying with batteries that would be dangerous to the plane. And even though my scooter was a travel scooter where everything comes apart, they just lift the entire thing up and put it on the plane. I've seen the guys do it. They'll just keep it all together as one piece, just like if it was a standard scooter, and they lift it up. Now, I think if you had a full-size scooter, they would have to still lift it. I don't know how they would do that. Some of these scooters weigh 200 to 300 pounds. The travel scooter for mine was, I think, like 86, 87 pounds, something like that. So, oh, okay. I think if we would have turned there, we might be able to go to the Prospect Heights Trail. I wonder if this cuts through. I don't know. Let's take this neighborhood. Let's see. We've never been down here. Let's check it out. Let's see if this cuts through. So yeah, that was interesting to see some type of inquiry about that. It still does make sense because there are people who watch Russ's Right who are not necessarily e-bike people. They've been watching me for a while because of my knee replacement issues. So yeah, let me know. Let me know what you guys think about this whole thing about maybe reviewing their scooters and talking about their scooters. All right, where are we? We've been riding for a while. I know that these rides are very long. It probably turns some people off when they see such a long video, but others have told me they like the long videos. You guys just like hanging around with the Russ is Right. So, yeah, look how beat up this road is here. If I was to ride the shoulder like I had been, I don't think that would be good. Alrighty. This is Schoenbeck Road for you local guys. I think there was an entrance off of Schoenbeck. Don't know for a fact. I don't pay attention to some of the names of the roads when I'm riding. Wherever the GPS tells me to go, that's where I go. Camp McDonald Road. I think we are in Prospect Heights at this point. Obviously, we're not on the trail. And let's just go forward. Let's see where it goes. What do we got to lose? Now, I took the Rad Rover simply because it has more battery than the Magicycle Cruiser at this point. And the fact that the motor can only peak out at 750. I know that if I hit the throttle hard, I'm not getting more than 750. It actually gives me a little bit more range. If I push down hard on the Magicycle Cruiser, we know it does at least 900 or more watts. So it eats up more power. You have less battery range. So yeah, it's not the best bike to take for some of these excursions that I do. All right, I think this is This has got to be Rand Road up ahead. Yeah, it is. I'm not going to ride on Rand Road. That's again one of those roads that I try to avoid. I'm going to stop here for a second here. Look behind me, make sure there's no cars. There isn't. I'm going to turn ourselves around here. We'll head back. Bad choice. Should not have gone down. Hey, you don't know until you ride it. This is Old Orchard Country Club, it says. I believe I shot a wedding here once. Yeah, I did. I did do a wedding here once before when I was shooting weddings, doing photography for weddings. Yeah, I was a professional photographer for over 30-something years, 30-plus years, whether it was crime scene photography or wedding photography. Taught photography for 8 years. So yeah, people have asked me too, maybe during the winter months, why don't you talk about photography? Yeah, I don't want to do it. I've been doing it for 8 years solid. Teaching photography for 8 years solid. I don't want to do it. I just don't feel like doing it. I feel like I need a break. Need a break from it all. So yeah, we'll be talking about other stuff. Other people have mentioned we should do things about bike maintenance. Yeah, that might be a good topic. I don't know whether you have 3 or 4 months worth to talk about. But yeah, there's a lot of topics you can talk about that have, doesn't require you to be riding. I just like riding while talking. To me, I have more fun that way because it's like I have someone to talk to. Somebody saw me on a video and said, did you just say good morning to that stop sign? I said, I don't speak to stop signs, I talk to myself. Yeah. I'm used to talking to myself. No, sometimes there's people off to the side that you can't see because you only have a forward-facing view. So all he saw was me passing a stop sign and he's saying good morning to it. No, there's people, obviously, around. You just can't see them. I'm saying good morning to them. But, yeah, I'm used to talking while riding at this point. This speaker here, this Bluetooth speaker, people always ask me about it, what it is. It's a Bluetooth speaker. It plays music and things. Whatever you can stream to it, it'll play music. And I haven't used it in so long. I mean, literally, I have not used it at all for so long. I figured I need some music to keep me company while I'm riding, but I'm usually recording a video now and talking to you guys that I don't really use the thing. Obviously, I leave it there. I mean, where else am I going to put it, right? So here's a question that somebody had recently, and he brings up a valid point. He had mentioned that he had ordered an aerial rider bike, which has a 1,000-watt motor, and I think it said it peaks out at like 1,800 watts or something. Man, that's huge. But he said he didn't want to get pulled over by law enforcement for having a bike that had a motor that was larger than the legal limit. And he wanted to know what I thought about that. I didn't really know how to advise him. I just said that, I don't know what a police officer would do or not do. Will he really pull you over and check out what your wattage is on your motor? I don't know about that. Probably not. Unless he's a bike enthusiast himself and he knows what an aerial rider, I think it was called the Kepler, is the model that he was looking at or had placed an order for. If he knows what it is, I guess he could actually stop you for it. But I don't know of anybody who's ever been stopped because of that, really. I really don't. And will you really get in trouble riding something like that? I don't know. I mean, if you were on a bike path with a bike like that, and there was a officer that knows his stuff, I guess he could say, you can't ride this bike on that bike path. By the letter of the law, that is. Would they really do that? I don't know. I really don't know. I can't advise you. I just said, you gotta ride what you feel comfortable riding. I mean, if you bought this bike, if you bought a Rad Rover, I told them that many people feel that the motors are really 500 watt motors that peak at 750. This thing never goes past 750 watts. Even on the peak thing, I've never even seen it say 750. It'll say like 736 or something like that. It never even hits 750. So will it really be something that they will stop you on? I don't know. But that bike will go pretty fast. Just like, my Magicycle will go pretty fast. It'll go 28 miles an hour. But legally, is that bike legal? Well, if you talk about it, the nominal setting is a 750 watt motor. So it is actually being sold at 750. But we know that when you pump that bike up and you hit it on the throttle or even pedaling, it goes past 900 watts. The meter only shows 900, but I'll guarantee you it's going past that 900. It feels like it. Is that legal? I don't know. How do they rate these things? Do they rate it such that are they talking the nominal setting of 750? The guy's waving me on. If they go based on the nominal setting of the motor, then yeah, it's legal at 750. But now here's another thing. Class 3 is pedal assisted up to 228 miles an hour, but as we know from our tests, the Magicycle on a throttle will also do 28 miles an hour. Technically, that's not legal. Now, would they stop you for that? That you've been throttled to 28 rather than pedal assisted to 28? I don't know. Technically, they could. Would they really do it? I kind of doubt it. I mean, how do they know if I've been pedaling or not pedaling? I guess they could watch and observe, but how would they know, right? You could say, well, I'm on the street, I'm doing class 3. How would they know? The officer would have to jump up on your bike, ride it around himself, and check to see if it was throttling to 28. They're not going to do that. Are they going to leave their squad car and say, okay, sit tight, let me check out your bike? They're not going to do that. So, yeah, I think until we get to the point where e-bikes have skirted the law so much that they have to come down hard on e-bike riders, I don't know whether that really would actually happen. And these other bikes, I don't know. 1,000 watt nominal with an 1,800 watt peak, that sounds like a lot to me. I will tell you this, if you run it like that, you're not going to get a whole lot of range out of your battery, because something has to power that 1,800 watts, all right? That's coming from your battery. Your mileage is going to drop like crazy if you ride like that. You might get a lot of power going up hills, but I'm beginning to see that, sometimes a lower wattage bike may not necessarily be that bad. If you want to take it for distance, like for this thing, this Rad Rover 5 doesn't have the power as a Magicycle, but it's my distance bike. If I'm going a distance, I grab this bike because it's got a smaller motor. It's not going to eat up as much power. It's got more juice in my batteries because I have 2 of these 20 amp hour batteries. I got 40 amp hours, 52 volts, 40 amp hours with me at all times when I carry 2 batteries. I'm only carrying 1 right now. So, yeah, you have to look at what you're using the bike for, really, would be my answer to him. If you're just commuting around, yeah, if you're not going a lot of long distance, yeah, having some extra power is kind of nice. Get up some hills and stuff a lot easier. But as I've always said, that power comes from somewhere, and it comes from your battery. So it's going to eat range to give you that power to go up those hills and stuff. But man, I'm just like shocked at how much power that thing would draw it would draw current like crazy. All right, my terminology. Let's go back to terminology. Sometimes I say things that technically is not the right way to say it, and I know it because I have a background in electronics. Yeah. Power is measured in wattage. Power is a function of voltage times your current. Current is essentially the amperage, right? So if you look at your ratings, 52 volts at 15 amp hours, 20 amp hours, take those two numbers together, multiply it together, that gives you what they call the watt hours. So if you're comparing batteries and one gives you a watt hour rating and the other gives you a individual number rating, like our battery's 48 volts at 15 amp hours, just multiply the two, then you'll know what the watt hours are. Okay, if they give you the watt hours when they say, well, we have a 48 volt battery and you want to find out what your amperage is, just do some division. Okay, you'll figure out exactly what that thing is. 48 volts at 15 amps or 20 amps or whatever the rating is. Yeah, they don't seem to standardize on some of the specifications of brands, but you can calculate it out. All right, we got to turn here. Yeah, I remember my my electronics instructors. They were kind of sticklers on how you said things and the like, and I never, although I have a bachelor's in electronics engineering, I never used my engineering degree. I went into other things. After I graduated, I was selling stereo equipment at my dad's stereo store for 8 years. Then I went into law enforcement. But I would say that the electronics background helped me get my job in law enforcement. When I was working for the DA's office, it really helped out because I did have to deal with a lot of the technical equipment and things that was used at the DA's office. I helped design some covert microphone things that some of the investigators used, and the electronics background did help. I do have a couple of forensic qualifications in court. I am a forensic audio expert. I am also a forensic photography and videography expert in court. So those things came from your background. They do a thing called voir dire. All your lawyers will know what all this stuff is. Yeah, it took like 45 minutes on the stand going through voir dire just to qualify as an expert in forensic audio. But when they found out what my background was, they found out what I used to do and my knowledge and everything and my degrees. Yeah, the court qualified me as an expert in forensic audio. That was my first court qualification. Later on, photography and videography expertise came along. Yeah, so what voir dire is the attorney that wants to offer you as a prospective expert witness. If you've never been qualified in court before for your expertise, they go through your qualifications. They ask you what did you do, why are you qualified, all that stuff. And then after the attorney who's offering you up as a expert does his questioning, then of course the other attorney, which is in my case it would have been a defense attorney, would question you, trying to throw all your qualifications out. It's kind of a game, You tell them everything that you're able to do, then the other guy tries to say you're totally unqualified, by asking you questions, trying to make you look like an idiot. And then at the end of the day, after all that's done, the judge will make a determination whether the court feels that you are qualified as an expert or you're not. And obviously, the court basically says, yeah, you're qualified. You're qualified as an expert. Whoops, I'm supposed to turn there. Let's turn around again. I did this before. When I didn't have the map, I had to go around this thing before too. Let's go around this thing here. So once they qualify you in court as an expert in that field, you are court qualified. You are able to testify as to opinion evidence in that field. So I was able to give my opinions for that particular case that had to do with audio related things for that case. And of course, having worked for the district attorney's office out in San Diego County, I'm court qualified from the Superior Court of California, but most courts will recognize that. So wherever you go, all you have to state is that you have been court qualified before in the past as an expert witness in criminal matters. Yeah, I think I was qualified. We were talking about some gunshot sounds and other things. Kind of weird. Interesting story though, after I got court qualified, a day or two later, my supervisor, I was working for the DA's office at the time in the Technical Services Division, and my supervisor says, the judge wants to see you. He says, what did you do? You know, when you're requested to go see the judge, that's not a good thing. He says, what did you do? I says, I don't know. I says, I just qualified in court, and then I testified in court. He goes, the judge wants to see you in his chambers. I go, oh no. I says, what did I do? So I went to go see the judge. He told me he was a musician. He wanted my opinion on some speakers he was buying and what I thought about it. Yeah, it's pretty funny. Apparently the judge played music, and so during lunch hour we would go out and take a look at some of these speakers and audition to speakers at the music store. He just wanted a personal favor afterwards, after he found out I was the guy to talk to concerning audio things. Yeah, we helped him figure out what was the best speakers for him. Funny story. Yeah, judges are people too, I guess. Anyways, it's been a long, drawn-out ride. Appreciate you guys hanging around with me as I was just riding around and exploring the area. Hopefully you liked it and liked some of the stories that I told. I know not everything we discuss are about e-bikes, but you know, you can't talk e-bikes forever. Sometimes you have to talk about things that have interest to you. At least for me, they are. I hope they are to you as well. Anyways, if you liked the video, go ahead and hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. I'll talk to you guys next time.